Nuclear gun-type fission bomb. This design forces two separate pieces of nuclear fissile material together at high speed to trigger a chain reaction. When the combined mass becomes critical, it releases a sudden and powerful burst of nuclear energy. It was one of the earliest working nuclear weapon designs and is known for its mechanical simplicity. However, it requires large amounts of enriched material and is considered inefficient by modern nuclear standards. Nuclear implosion-type fission bomb. This design uses carefully arranged conventional explosives to compress nuclear material inward from all directions. The sudden increase in density triggers a rapid nuclear chain reaction. It produces more energy from less material compared to earlier methods. The precision needed to shape the inward blast made it one of the most complex scientific breakthroughs of early nuclear weapons development. Nuclear-boosted fission weapon. This design enhances a normal nuclear fission explosion by introducing small amounts of fusion fuel into the core. When the nuclear reaction begins, extreme heat and pressure trigger limited fusion, releasing extra neutrons. These neutrons intensify the nuclear chain reaction and increase efficiency. The result is a more powerful nuclear explosion from a smaller device. Nuclear thermonuclear weapon. This type combines nuclear fission and nuclear fusion in separate stages to produce extremely large explosions. A primary nuclear fission blast creates the conditions needed for fusion in a secondary stage. Fusion releases vast amounts of additional nuclear energy, far exceeding fission alone. These weapons represent the most powerful nuclear devices ever created. Nuclear two-stage hydrogen bomb. This nuclear weapon uses a staged process where one nuclear explosion triggers another. The first stage is a nuclear fission device that compresses and heats a separate fusion stage. Carefully directed radiation forces the second stage into nuclear fusion. This layered design allows the total nuclear yield to be increased by adding more fusion material. Nuclear neutron bomb. This nuclear weapon is designed to release intense neutron radiation while limiting the size of the blast and heat. The nuclear explosion still occurs, but much of the energy is directed into penetrating radiation. It was developed to maximize biological effects while reducing structural destruction. Its purpose made it one of the most controversial nuclear designs. Nuclear salted bomb. This concept surrounds a nuclear device with materials that become highly radioactive after the explosion. When the nuclear blast occurs, these materials are spread across large areas as long-lasting contamination. The focus is not only immediate nuclear destruction, but extended environmental impact. Though mostly theoretical, it shows how nuclear weapons can be designed to affect land for long periods. Nuclear radiological dispersal device. This device spreads radioactive material using conventional explosives instead of a nuclear chain reaction. It does not produce a full nuclear explosion, but still uses nuclear-related materials to contaminate an area. The primary effect is environmental and psychological disruption. It is often discussed as a weapon of nuclear contamination rather than nuclear detonation. Nuclear tactical weapon. This category includes smaller nuclear weapons intended for battlefield use. They are designed for limited range and lower nuclear yield compared to large strategic systems. Their purpose is to influence specific military situations rather than destroy entire regions. Many were developed during periods of intense nuclear rivalry between major powers. Nuclear strategic weapon. These are large nuclear weapons designed for long-range delivery against major targets, such as cities or national infrastructure. They typically carry very high nuclear yields and are deployed as part of long-term deterrence strategies. Their existence is meant to prevent conflict through the threat of massive nuclear retaliation. They form the core of most national nuclear arsenals. Nuclear MIRV warhead. This nuclear system allows a single missile to carry multiple nuclear warheads. Each warhead can separate during flight and strike a different target. The missile releases them in space before they re-enter the atmosphere independently. This greatly increases the reach and effectiveness of nuclear delivery systems. Nuclear submarine-launched weapon. These nuclear weapons are carried on submarines that operate deep underwater for long periods. From hidden positions, they can launch nuclear missiles across vast distances. Their mobility and concealment make them a central part of modern nuclear deterrence. They ensure a nuclear response remains possible even after a surprise attack.